I'm Laura Blumenthal on the Berkshire Heroes podcast, and joining me today is Maria Lloyd, who is the chair of the Reading Film and Video Makers. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you, Laura. I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, I know you have your own business as well in marketing, so you are a fellow podcaster, and your podcast is called My Local Marketer, where you interview local Reading businesses. So I will ask you about that, but first of all, start by telling me, what does Reading Film and Video Makers do? What's its history, and why did you want to become its chair?
Well, Reading Film and Video Makers has a very long history. I believe it started in 1957, so it's been going for decades. And originally, it was under a totally different name, which was, I think, the Reading Tape and Cine Group. So obviously, when they were making films back then, it was on a totally different type of medium. It then bumped up to videotapes. And then obviously we've changed now, we've got more digital with YouTube and channels like that. So it's basically just a group of people who are really interested in making film and video, who want to get together and make videos or learn how to make videos and learn from each other. And obviously with the importance of video in the modern day and age, I think it's important for everyone to at least have a group they can tap into or gain a bit of understanding on film and video.
And what's your vision as chair? Are you looking to increase membership? Are you looking to create more films that you can put to the local community? What is the Maria vision?
Well, the since COVID, I think, as with many groups, the group has struggled for membership. And my vision is to try and bump up membership and to get many more people interested in the group and making videos, and really to connect with other groups as well. I think that it's so important for groups to connect and work together and to promote each other. So I'm making quite a few changes, obviously with the blessing of the group. They're all happy with it. One of the changes is it's been quite based in Caversham. And I'm hoping to move that to Reading Centre so it's easier for people to get to. I'm hoping to get the university students involved as well so we can broaden the membership. So it's not just, say, an older generation, we can get some of the younger members involved as well. And I'm hoping for it to be more of a share and a learning experience. There'll be one online session a month and one in-person session so we can keep the social side for people who need that. But it's really just to help develop skills more than anything. So I'm hoping that will appeal to a broader range of people. And as I said before, especially with the need now to do video for all of us, whether you have a business or a hobby or a passion or something, I think you need to communicate that in the best way possible. And video is a very effective medium to do that.
I totally agree because in the last couple of years, video seems so much more important on social media and everything rather than 5 or even 10 years ago. And it's great that what you focus on is very much on skills. So as I understand, there's some courses and training that your club puts on. Can you tell me a bit more about that and who it's aimed at?
Yes, of course. So there is an introduction to filming course, which has always been, I think the last few years that's been done in person. And again, I don't think that's been very accessible, partly because there's some people who couldn't come because it's once a week, every week for about 6 weeks. So I'm hoping to make that along with the person who leads the course, Dan, a little more accessible. So perhaps having sessions again that are focused on developing a certain skill and then having a much stronger connection between the introduction course and the group membership. So the group is free to join, anyone can join it, but there's been a bit of a separate, so people who come for the course are on the course, but there's no connection between that and the main group membership. So I'm hoping to use that as an introduction and then to get people wanting to learn and develop skills and then connecting them with the wider group as a whole so they can continue to learn and develop as they go along. So again, that will be, instead of a general introduction, it'll probably be more focused specifically on skills they can develop. I want to make it online. That's another change I want to make for that, because at the moment in person or online is quite difficult, but if we have a recorded version, it means that people can join whenever is suitable for them, midnight, 2 in the morning, whenever they want.
That makes it far more accessible indeed. And what about the cost of this 6 week course? How much is it?
It's previously been, I believe, about £25 to do. We still want to make it accessible, so I don't think it would change that much. Or we may slightly change it. So, for example, if it's a little module or a video you're interested in, perhaps that could be £10 or something, and it's just per video that you're actually interested in or per mini course. So there are various ways we can do it. We're just figuring that out at the moment.
£25 for a whole course, 6 weeks. That is such great value for money. That is fantastic. I think I'm going to have to sign up to it. When is it starting, Maria? That's the question.
It's September normally has been the start. So I think we're still looking to do something in September, which may be a slightly different format to previously, like I said, online. So Zoom calls, for example, as opposed to in person, so more people can join. And then at least online, we can have them recorded. So if anyone can't make the recording at that particular time, they could still join and then just watch it when it's suitable for them. So it would be September start, but then going forwards, like I said, hopefully having something in place where we can have it constantly throughout the year as opposed to just one time in the year where you can join and that's it.
And the Reading Film and Video Makers, who are the members? Are they film enthusiasts? Are they people who really love the technical side and storytelling of it all? Who is this perfect for?
Oh, it's a real mix. So I am an individual business owner. So for me, like I said, that's how I promote the business and I really love Reading. So that's how I promote Reading as well through film. So that's one way. But there are people who are, well, their careers are based on sound, for example, or cinematography, particular parts of film, or they're interested in filmmaking overall and that is their service. They have a video business, or it's people who are just interested and they just want to touch base, but they don't need it for any particular reason. They just want to keep up to date with what's happening. So a variety of reasons.
Now, moving from video to podcasting, you have your own podcast, My Local Marketer. What made you decide to start up the podcast? What have you learned? What do you most enjoy about it?
So I first started it because around, I think it was, well, 18 months ago or so. I've been living in Reading for 20 years, but it wasn't until then that I suddenly by accident went to a local arts and crafts fair that I found out about. And I loved it. And I met an artist called Janina, and she put me in touch with other artists. And then from there, I did some digging and found the film group and then Caversham Writers and other groups. And I suddenly realised how much there was in the doorstep and how I don't think many people in Reading actually realise how much there is on the doorstep. So I wanted to do a podcast to highlight not only independent businesses, but charities, groups, individuals, people who are doing amazing things in Reading on the doorstep. And people, you know about them if you're in the circle of knowing about what's going on. But if you aren't, they're not really promoted anywhere or highlighted. So it was my goal to highlight them and to start to connect groups so that they're not so disparate.
And what have you learnt most from your guests? What have you had your mind open to? Any particularly memorable moments?
Oh, lots of memorable moments. Well, when I first started, obviously, when you're trying to get used to the tech, that was a moment. I've changed now, so I mainly use Audacity and Riverside, but at the start, I was trying to use Able, which is what my Focusrite box, that was the suggested software. Oh, and that just didn't work at all. I've recorded one and with Richard from the Dreading Poet Society, I had to redo it because the audio was just terrible. So we redid it online. So yes, that was an experience, but everyone has been wonderful. That's what I really love about the podcast. I love meeting new people, hearing about different perspectives, and it just makes you feel not alone. Because everyone, I think, as a business owner, you can feel quite alone and that there's so much to do, but everyone's in the same boat and everyone's willing to help you and give you advice. So it's nice just to have that support network around you, which is what I really like about the podcast.
And so, with you talking to local businesses, local artists, how do you feel that they're doing in Reading? Because there's a lot of economic pressures on people, including on businesses. There's quite a bit of struggle. What have you learned and what's your take on it?
I believe there are two perspectives to this. On the one hand, it's hard for the small business owner. It's hard to get noticed and stand out, especially from when there's no money and no time to do anything. So that can be a really hard challenge to overcome. But on the other hand, I'd say if you focus on Reading, it's amazing how a focused effort on a particular area, you could become known quite quickly for something. And as a small independent business owner, solopreneur, you are flexible to pivot very quickly, unlike the larger companies. So you are at an advantage over the larger companies. If your business works really well, say from 10 till 2, you can change your business hours to have it from 10 till 2 and not from 9 to 5. So that reduces your overhead costs and your staff costs, but you're still keeping running. So you have the ability to pivot as long as you are in tune with what your business needs and what your audience above all wants. So I think, yeah, small business owners have a great advantage.
And what are you focusing on right now when it comes to the Reading Film and Video Makers, but also your podcast and wider business? And how can people find you online?
So for the film and video makers at the moment, I'm just getting this new structure in place for September. And that's going to be a new location. It's going to be a mix of online and in person. And I'm trying to get the course structure in place for that now with what people want to learn. So I'm just looking through the surveys on that now. So that's for the Reading film and video makers. For the podcast, there is no particular goal for the podcast. It really is just to connect with new and interesting people. That's all I want to use the podcast for. So yeah, if anyone's interested, please get in touch. To find us, the Reading Film and Video Makers online, you can just Google Reading Film and Video Makers or rfvm.org.uk. And then for my podcast, my business, it's at mylocalmarketer.co.uk. And that's the same name for the podcast as well. So that's where you can find me.
And so if I went on the Reading Film and Video Makers website, could I find that course starting in September?
You could find the page that talks about the course. We haven't mentioned the September one yet because we haven't got the structure finalised, but there is definitely a page dedicated. And if you're interested, just use the contact form and get in touch and let us know, and then we'll send you the details when they're ready.
Brilliant. And also, is there a yearly showcase or films that people have made in the club that perhaps is open to friends and family to come and watch?
Yes, it's previously we've had it at the end of the year, which is normally around June, July. And we are looking to keep doing the same thing. At the moment, I'm in discussions with a collaboration with Progress Theatre, so nothing's been decided yet, but we're hoping to have like a really nice, proper showcase in a nice venue like that.
And is it all ages? So is it teenagers, retirees, or is it sort of a particular demographic?
No, for me, it's all ages. And I strongly believe a balance of all ages is what's necessary for a group. You need that balance of perspectives along with enthusiasm, and younger generations can share different things with the older generations and vice versa. So I think that mix of ages is really important for a group.
And tell me a bit about your business, because you're a marketer yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm a marketer, but I focus specifically on the area of Reading. So I don't at the moment have a particular vertical. What my main interest is audience development. So I'm interested in helping business owners set up a core content piece that they can use. And that will help them to develop trust with their target audience. And over time, that will naturally lead to growth of business. So I'm not one of the ones that focuses on, I need leads now. I'm one of the ones that focuses on, you want to gain trust with your audience. This is how you gain trust, but it's over a longer period, which gets better results, in my opinion.
That is pretty much perfect for someone helping the Reading Film and Video Makers sort of get a bit clearer on its brand and get some more members. So that is brilliant. I'm going to ask you one final question, which is, Maria, if you were Prime Minister, what would you change about the UK and why?
Oh, it's a fascinating question. When you go to some of these Eastern cultures, for example, go to Japan, you will see that they are very much community focused. It's not so much the individual, it's about the community. They all help, they're already polite and do things. And I think sometimes in the Western culture, I don't know if it's the Western overall or just parts, I think we have a tendency to focus on ourselves, which we definitely need to do. You need to focus on yourselves and look after home first. But I would really like there to be more of a value brought up in everyone, like right from school age, where you are volunteering, you're doing something in your community. So it's you, but you're helping at the same time others. And I think that helps to combat things like loneliness and all these problems that you can find in society. If everyone just chips in, like 1 hour a month volunteering, or you find a cause that you're really passionate about, it doesn't take much. But if everyone, 70 million people in the UK each gave 1 hour as opposed to a small group of people running themselves ragged, I think it would make everyone see their local community and value it better and realise the opportunities for themselves to grow. So I think everyone can win that way.
I really love that you mentioned Japan, because I was lucky enough to go a few years ago and I absolutely adored it. And I totally understand your point about they have a real culture of being considerate of others. So they don't eat whilst they're walking down the street. That's considered a no-no. They don't have all that much litter at all, because it's all about being considerate about other people, your friends, your family, your wider community, that everyone's in it together. Whereas here, we talk a lot in the media and amongst ourselves about people playing their phones really loudly on speakerphone. on the trains and public transport, and there seems to be just no consideration for other people. I mean, I would die if like my phone went off really loudly and I had no idea, like a video started playing on Instagram, I'd just be like, oh, inside. But that feeling seems to not be in some people, and that is such a shame. And it seems to have got worse. And I don't know if it's just more of a sort of individualism culture or what, but yes, if we could all learn to be a bit more Japanese, all learn to be a bit more considerate of other people in the community and how they may perceive our actions and what we put out into the world, I think very much a better place. So I would totally vote for you to be Prime Minister.
Thank you.
That's exactly what we need. Thank you so much, Maria Lloyd, for joining me on the Berkshire Heroes podcast. It's been brilliant to speak with you.
Oh, thank you, Laura. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. And yes, good luck with the podcast.